even in all. So here we go, Dust, Kicking Dust part 5. This is footage of today actually. I just shot this, and I wanted to kind of just show you some of the I guess some of the kind of brawling that goes on. This is a really good fight and I loved it, and there is some massive influx of new players, as you can see here. I don't know who this guy is. He just seems to have befriended me, so bless him. He looks like a wide-eyed, lovable little noob. And you see why, because he actually couldn't figure out how to get in the car. Oh, it's so adorable. And I'm not condescending to the guy. This game is bloody confusing. Believe me, I did exactly the same things. And basically I just sit around here kind of trying to figure out if I can kind of tell him how to do it. And I just thought, you know what? Ugh, he'll figure it out. So yeah, this is Brawling footage. This is one of the, I think this is a newer map. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it certainly looked new to me. And what I was doing here was just using the ship fits that you get when you join. I haven't really set anything up yet. I am going balls out for dropships. I really want to do dropships. So I'm actually about 100k ISK away from the skill. Then I'm probably about, I don't know, 300-400k away per mothership from per dropship from the actual ship. But it's going to be worth it because they're going to be awesome. You need to also have an afterburner and all that good stuff. So you know, I'm probably still days away from it. But again, I would stress that probably the best thing in this game is to specialize. I'm sure you're all familiar with that, but like Eve, you know, you can't just mass train everything because it's kind of dumb. You need to actually pick something and just stick with it. And I'm going pretty much all out with this character, CEOPyrex CloneA, just because I really would like to do a dropship pilot with him. Probably going to do heavy suit as well, because heavy suits and miniguns are pretty much your tanks. You throw them into the fray, and they can kind of punch anything out. Logistics look pretty good as well, so the ability to remote rep other people. That's incredible. That guy just walked past me without even noticing me. So this is it. This is the game as it stands at the moment. There's a lot of new players, and to be fair to them, I felt bad shooting that guy in the back because he probably just didn't really understand what's going on. And you'll see a lot of kills like that today in this footage. And actually, this was a 13-5 fight, so I think that kind of shows. And I'm not brilliant at this game, so that doesn't show I'm good. It just shows that I think a lot of people are just learning the ropes. Just a quick comment, I guess, on the PS3 controller. If you use the controller, you can only spin on your axis as fast as obviously the controller can do that. With a mouse, hopefully you're seeing how quickly I'm able to turn corners. So that gives me a pretty big advantage, and I think already I've killed a few people, and you'll see the footage of this. Now watch this guy. Oh my god, he just blew himself up with a grenade. Oh, poor fella. I feel sorry for him because it's like he didn't know what he was doing. So yeah, I felt a bit bad there. He basically just killed himself. Anyway, I'm not going to cry a tear for him. And you'll see a lot of players today, and a lot of players currently are really new to the game. They're green, I think is fair to say, because they don't really know what they're doing, and I feel pretty bad for them, because the worst thing I want to do is kind of run up and act all uber elite and that, and just make these guys never want to play again, because I'd like it if everybody who plays this game likes it and wants to play it, because then it's a better experience. So I'm trying to restrain myself when I run around doing my usual run and gun stuff, but to be honest, I get it. But there are still some vet players in here, and to be honest, a lot of them are acting like dicks. They're just they're just milking these noobs for their kills, and it's just, well, it's a shame in a way, but hey, that's the way the game is. It's not a nice game on purpose, and that's kind of the point. So yeah, I mean, basically just flying around with the assault rifle. The assault rifle, you probably, again, don't know how much I can say about the NDA, but I'm going to risk it. The assault rifle used to have a scope. There, that's it. That's pretty much one of the big changes that they've made. The assault rifle, in my opinion, has always been overpowered. I guess it's just, if you're good with it, you're going to get a lot of kills, and I think it's the basic weapon. But to me, it's always been a touch overpowered, and I think making it iron sights is a good step in the right direction. I think some of the assault rifles as well, the named ones, had the ability, so if you had a particularly posh mouse, you could actually do a repeating mouse button, firing, and so therefore a single shot rifle could be turned into a repeating rifle using your mouse as a macro. Do you know what I mean? And that was a bit sneaky, I guess. But you know, what can you do? I think a lot of that is now gone, and the game I think is enriched for not having that. Assault rifles are not overpowered anymore. I'd say I think they're pretty, they're pretty good actually, and they stack up quite well next to the other guns. I will go through some of the other guns. At the moment, I'm kind of just sticking with the basics. Sniper rifle's not really changed. The assault rifle is, as I say, a little bit nerfed. Looking forward to having a go with my minigun. I did enjoy. Heavy suits and minigun equals win. Oh my god, how am I still alive? 0 health, 0 armor. I'm sure it's like 0.00001 health. Anyway. And I think a lot of the weapons that you can actually get in the game, they're kind of well balanced. I wouldn't say there's anything particularly overpowered. The forge gun is like I guess it's like an area of effect explosive rail charge, if you like, and you have to charge it up then fire it. It's very much anti-vehicle, to be honest, but it's pretty effective against troops if you've got it leveled up, because the splash damage from that thing does this huge amount of damage. A serious amount of damage, or at least it used to. I'm sure it still does. The assault, I think when it comes to things like the miniguns and the sniper rifles and that, they're all pretty decent, and I think you could run with militia gear, to be honest, with them. And you probably wouldn't notice too much of a difference. I mean, I know, statistically there probably is a little bit more of a difference, but I think reality-wise, it's probably not a great deal of difference. There we go, I just dropped. That sucks, doesn't it? It was a close one, this. I mean, I think all the way through it. I mean, when I joined, probably from when you saw when I joined, we were losing badly, but I think people were not taking the points. I think there is a difference between ambush and skirmish, and I don't know if I've explained that. Let me explain that now. Ambush, and this changed. This is why I'm a bit kind of like, oh, because it did change. Ambush in this game now is you're not capturing objectives, you're just shooting each other until your clone reserves run out. Skirmish, which used to be the other way around previously, and again breaking the NDA, waiting for my knuckles to be wrapped. Previously, again, it was different. Skirmish now is this game where you see here, where you have to basically capture points. If I had to kind of recommend a preference, don't do ambush. Ambush, I prefer the objective-based games. Call me stupid, but I just think they're a bit more kind of enriched. There's a bit more purpose. Ambushes just generally turn into running around looking like a headless chicken, trying to get kills, get killed, respawn, run around. I don't like it. I think, it's a bit kind of like Call of Duty. It's a bit like Call of Duty, I guess. I would rather play a bit of an objective. So I think this is why the objectives of Skirmish, as it's called now, I would recommend to you if you're new to the game. Plus, also, you get common calls, so, there is a vested interest for your fellow blues to actually help you. In ambush, they won't. They'll run around, they'll get whatever they can for their own kills. In this, they will actually want you all to go and hit the same location and blah, 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 blah. And I think there's a nice bit of team play going on there. So I think if you're new to it, I would say give ambush a go, but just expect it to be deathmatch. And I think with this one, you can expect it to be a bit more like capture the zone, or whatever they call that from Unreal. Again, I think in terms of what you're seeing here, in terms of the way people are running around like crazy, I gather, just get the opinion, a lot of these people are new to the game. The game, again, before it became an open beta, and I'm breaking the NDA for the third time here, I'm going to get so hit, Lloyd. The game before it was filled with very veteran players who really knew what they were doing, and it was fine. That was good fun, actually. It became a real challenge, but it kind of sucked when everybody would call in like 5 dropships in one go, and yeah, it kind of sucked. But I would say now the game's enriched because everybody's learning again how to play the game. You've got new players and you've got an influx of people, so I think it's just so awesome that this is now an open beta. I'm really keen to try and look at some more of the factional warfare stuff. There is a debate in the corp at the moment how we're going to do that, because obviously we're in an alliance in our EVE Online corp, so we need to figure out a way to be able to do faction warfare while in an alliance. If you know how, post in the comments, because I don't. I always believed. Ouch. Oh yeah, that's right. Down you go, son. So basically I always believe that you, you had to basically leave an alliance, and all your alliance had to tie itself to one of the major races. So post in the comments, let me know if I've got that right or wrong. Because it would be good to do some FW, only because we want to do the planetary bombardment. I gather you do it in destroyers. I could be wrong, but I'm told that, you know, by the guys, that you do it in destroyers. And we're pretty rich players, so I think whatever it costs, we're just going to throw risk at it just so we can bombard everything until nothing stands. We'll basically, as I like to call it, nuke it clean. Oh my god, as that guy just did exactly that. He just precision striked us. Brilliant. And I really do think, you know, they are just awesome things. I really, really love that. And again, there's not a lot you can do about it. It's funny because when you play, when you hear that dong as it goes, the sound of the precision strike firing up, if you're right in the center of it, you're just dead anyway. Don't try running. Don't bother. You may escape if you're on the periphery of it, but it's highly unlikely you're going to survive an orbital strike, particularly if they get you right in the center. But if you have, or you've got a video of doing it, post it, link it. I'd love to see it, because I think if you're a scout with nanos, yes, you fit nanos to scouts, you may be able to do it. And I've got the Dragonfly special edition suit, because I'm an idiot and bought the special edition on the PlayStation Store, and I think it's possible with that. Now, again, let's just quickly talk fits. In terms of how you should maybe look at your suits, we'll do a video on it, because I think it's probably worth doing, you know, spending time on that. But the standard assault suit that you get as normal is obviously okay, but I would say you can do better than that. We used a lot of scout suits with shotguns, because we use mouse and keyboard, and because we're able to use these scout suits. What you find is that if you come across a player who's using a controller, you can actually just run around him, and it's pretty crazy to think you can actually literally run rings around these players. And you do that basically by just I think this guy there, so you see how he turned. He maybe was using a mouse, but it's not clear. He's turning quite quickly, but you see some players, they just kind of walk around as if their gun's on in a pot of jelly or something, and that's actually how, you know, you can run rings around them. And I think, you know, it's well worth learning to fit these things. You can also do the same for the armor suit. So the heavy suit is actually pretty decent. You can actually armor tank it, so you can put plates in it and you can make it, you know, more hit points. So I think don't be afraid to have a play. I'll certainly show you more of that in the next video. At the moment, I was just more keen to sort of just show you some of the carnage and such. So here we go. I'm being attacked by two players. So one's down. The other one, in theory, should get me after that terrible grenade throw. But for some reason, he don't. And then I knock him out. There you go. So the 2 versus 1, and I won. That's not me being elite. They're obviously new players, literally, because I'm not very good at this game. And this is why it's heartening. So if you're a dusty and you played before, and you know you kind of grumbling bit of bet, come and have a go of it again. It's well worth looking at again, even though I lost. And the reason I was just doing this is to get ISK. You know, this is why, again, I would stress, just play the games. Doesn't matter if you win or lose, you get ISK regardless. And the ISK you get is not insubstantial, because in this case I'm looking for, like, you know, hundreds of K ISK, and even for losing and getting a few kills, I got, what, 146. So that's pretty decent. That helps me well towards my dropship fund. Dropship 101 is going to be in the air very soon, and I hope to show you more of that in the next video.